Hello everyone, welcome to the optical communication lecture series. Into the last lecture we have studied about the how to launch optical fiber inside the optical core. Now in this lecture we will see some graphical method, graphical that representation of how to launch the optical fiber inside the optical cable. So, in the last lecture also I have told you that how that representation can be done. So that representation can be done by using these methods. So this representation shows in the first figure you can see that the representation, as I told you, that when the light is outside the optical fiber there will be no use of that optical fiber. So that optical fiber, that light will be go outside the optical fiber and it will be not useful for us. So the light which is going inside that optical fiber, that is useful for us. In the second figure you can see that when the light is go launch is that at the starting part of the core, then it will be inside the core. That is not only sufficient thing. So if you are launching the fiber, uh, launching that ray inside that cable, by you can look that cable and you can see that the rays will be go inside the optical fiber. So in the next figure you can say that see that the total internal reflection is 100%, means no rays are going outside the optical fiber. In the second figure the rays are going, some rays are going outside the optical fiber. That is not feasible for us because all the optical rays should be come inside the optical fiber. And next part, propagation of light wave through the optical fiber. In the last lecture also I have told you about the propagation of light wave through the optical fiber. Now you can see that phi angle is low index cladding and high index core, means core index is high comparatively to the low index cladding, and there is an angle phi angle with respect to the normal. So that is the actual function of this phi angle, so that the light will be totally inside the core. The light should not be outside, should not go outside the cladding. What is the use of the cladding? That is cladding use is to stop the waves outside that, uh, to go outside that optical core. So that is the use of that optical core. But when you see that the waves, suppose the rays are going outside the core, that time these rays will be uh, means attenuated and they will uh, directed towards the core. That is the use of the cladding. That is when you will start with the attenuation chapter, that time you will understand that how the cladding is useful for us. So that is the phi angle. You have phi angle with respect to normal. Next is acceptance angle. Now in the last lecture also I have told you about the acceptance angle, but again I will tell you that how it is vary. So you can see the acceptance angle. So in this acceptance angle you can eventually the loss by the radiation. So these are the rays which are going outside, as I said, into outside the core. Those rays will be reflected back, but due to the strength, weak strength of that optical fiber rays which are going outside the core, because of that the rays will be vanished inside, outside that core. So that is, and some rays those are having with respect to critical angle. Now see this, when the rays are inside this angle, acceptance angle, that the rays which will be under the critical angle. Suppose this ray, another ray a with respect to a, we have shown a later, that ray will be remain inside the core. So that will be reflected back inside the core and it will again reflected back. So that will remain inside the core. So, what is mean by meridional ray? So, meridional ray means the rays which are crossing the axis of the optical fiber. Now, it is very important that the rays should be cross the optical fiber axis, because when if you will not cross the axis of the core, then it will be very difficult to launch that optical fiber inside that core. So that's why the rays should be cross that axis of the optical fiber. So these rays, meridional rays, will cross inside that optical fiber. And what about that the rays which are not crossing that optical fiber axis? Those rays which will go angular to the nature, they will go angular to the nature, means they will circulate, like they will go through that surface of the core. They will angular in nature, they will not cross that axis of the uh, axis of the core. So that is the main disadvantage of the skew waves. And skew waves we are not using inside the optical fiber, because they don't have use of that skew waves. Incident rays B at an angle greater than theta A is refracted into the cladding and eventually lost by the radiation, as shown in the figure. An acceptance angle defined by the conical half angle theta A. Theta A is the maximum angle to the axis at which light may enter the fiber in order to propagate it, is called as the acceptance angle for the fiber. So next part is numerical aperture, that we have seen in the last lecture also. So numerical aperture of the fiber is the light collecting efficiency of the fiber, and the measure of the amount of light rays that can be accepted by the fiber. It is equal to the sine of acceptance, that is NA is equal to N0 sine theta A is equal to N1 square minus N2 square raised to 1 by 2, where N1 and N2 are the refractive indices of the core and cladding respectively. So these are the refractive index. N1 is the refractive index and N2 is the refractive index of the cladding. So numerical aperture of the step index fiber is given as N1 root of 2 delta. So that is the step index fiber. So again, this is the plastic coating. So that I have already told you that step index fiber types. I am revising. I am taking revision of that, because we will require this in the next session. There are two types of optical fibers. Fiber types, that step index fiber and gradient index fiber. As I told you, step index fiber means the fiber refractive index will be gradually, step by step it will be decreased. So that is step index fiber. And gradient index fiber means the refractive index will be decrease or increase with respect to some with a continuous part. In the gradient index fiber, the refractive index of the core is made to vary in the parabolic manner, such that the maximum value of a refractive index is at the center of the core. So that is gradient index fiber. Types of the that fiber is single mode fiber and multi-mode fiber. Single mode fiber optical cable has a small diametric core that shows only one mode of the light propagated, and multi-mode fiber optic cable was a large a diametric core that allows multiple modes of lights to propagate. So there is a, based on the modes of propagating, there is two types: single mode fiber and multi-mode fiber. This is for revision purpose, and this is in brief we have to see. So this is index profile, that N1, N2 and 2A, that is core. So this is inside the core, and if you are moving this light is going inside fiber cross section ray paths. So monofold step index fiber, only where 125 micrometer cladding is there and 8 to 12 micrometer core is there. So that is the structure of the inside of fiber of section ray paths. Next is there is multi-mode step index fiber. Multi-mode means there will be a different modes available. Different means more than one rays we are transferring from the core. So you can see the multiple rays we can transfer from this. So N1 and N2. N1 is refractive index of the core, and N2 is refractive index of the cladding. And multi-mode gradient index fiber. So multi-mode gradient index fiber means that multiple rays we have to transfer, but with respect to by using gradient index fiber means gradually it will refractive index will increase or decrease. Here the step index in the step index fiber, the that the rays will be step by step gradually increase or decrease. So comparison, this is very important part, comparison of the single mode fiber and multi-mode fiber, because this in this single mode fiber core radius is small, but in multi-mode fiber core radius is large. Suppose it supports one mode of propagation, means only one rays which will be go through that core, and then it supports hundreds of modes inside that multi-mode fiber. Optical source is we are using is a laser for that, and optical source we are using that is LED. Both optical source we will see in the later. The launching of optical fiber into the fiber is difficult as the core radius is small. Means suppose there will be a very small, means if you are putting the thread inside that needle, that time you will understand that how it is difficult for us to put that thread inside that needle. So that is the way, that is the condition with this optical fiber when we are launching inside the of in the single mode fiber. But in a multi-mode fiber radius is large comparatively. That's why it is easy to launch inside that multi-mode fiber. Suppose large bandwidth for the single mode fiber means very high bandwidth is there. Suppose lesser bandwidth because there is a different rays are there. That's why it is difficult to transfer more rays. So bandwidth is very small. Intermodal dispersion is absent, means suppose intermodal dispersion means only one rays is there, so there will be no any option of intermodal dispersion. So that will be part we will study, that dispersion part will be studied when will be see the optical fiber losses in brief. These fibers suffers of intermodal dispersion because of different rays are there, some attenuation that time it will be a intermodal dispersion will be happen. Used for the long distance communication, used for the short distance communication. So this characteristic they will ask into the Viva exam for the optical fiber. So used for the long distance and used for the short distance communication. So next part we will discuss that optical fiber networking, and another parts we will see into the next lecture. So thank you for the today's lecture. Attend the all lectures and go through that books also, and I will give you notes as soon as possible. So thank you.